Good morning. I am Bobby with Mrs. B Potts Designs, and I'm here to paint a fabulous snowman today. So we're going to get ready for the Christmas season by painting this snowman. So I wanted to do a quick tutorial and show you how to do that. You can download the tracer and the instructions on my website at mrsbpottsdesigns.com, and you can trace your snowman onto your canvas just like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to do the background in red, and so I'm going to go ahead and get the background going. One of the things that I like to use for the background, just to get it on nice and quick, is a chip brush. So you can get these from Home Depot. Pretty simple, pretty easy to do. So that's what I'm gonna do and get that on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the red paint on here and start painting. So we're just gonna start getting this paint on for the background really quick and simple. One of the things that I do like to do with my canvases is I do like to make sure my brush is nice and wet. I do live in Arizona, so paint tends to dry out pretty quick here. And then I just get down as close as I can to the snowman. I'm going to probably go back over with a smaller brush, and if I get a little bit on the lines, it's not a big deal because acrylic dries, and once it's dry I can actually go over it with the color that I want to go over it with. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So this summer in in Arizona has been very long, and we are so done with summer. We had record-breaking 110 degrees this year, and it has been crazy. So tell me about where you live. Do you live in crazy hot temperatures like I do, or do you live in the cooler parts of the country? I'm actually from the northern part of Arizona, which gets a little cooler, and they have seasons. But when you live in the valley in Mesa near Phoenix, it's still pretty warm. And this year, temperatures have not dropped. I mean, today is like the first day it's going to be cool, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be in the high 70s, but we have even this week, we had a 20-degree drop, believe it or not, from the 90s to the 20s. So yeah, I would be very interested to hear what your weather is doing. I saw on Facebook that people in Canada already have snow. That's just crazy to me. Okay, so I think I'm done with that, so I'm going to put that in the water. I'm going to go ahead and come back in with my bigger brush, or my smaller brush. So this is just a 10-inch. Sorry, this is a very well-used brush, as you can tell. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in right around the snowman here. I'm going to go the same direction that I went with the other paint too, because I don't want to get really crazy with the directions of my paint. It just looks so much smoother and nicer if you can go in the same direction that you started in. So just like that. And I love bright colors, and this is just a super cute snowman. I'm just gonna go in right around the little branches for the arms, just like this. Place for the snow down here, so I'm going to leave that white. And that's just a little easier because red is a little bit difficult to cover sometimes. So I definitely, on the white spots, try not to get red in there. If you do, not a big deal. Just going to have to use a little more paint. So I'm going to go right down in here. So tell me, be curious to know how many of you guys are painters by, by choice or profession, or is this just a fun hobby for you to do? So one of the things that I do for a living with this is I actually schedule paint parties. So I do private paint parties, I do public paint parties, all kinds of stuff. I just did a porch leaner party at Los Dos Molinos in Mesa that was really fun and was super successful. Everybody was really happy with their paintings or with their porch leaners, and they turned out so cute too. Everybody did such a great job. If that's something that you would be interested in, then just let me know and I can do that for you. I'm always coming up with new paintings. This one is a licensed painting that I actually buy, but I do a lot of my own too. So we can add to the catalog as we get going. And these are really fun. I love doing these. And I love teaching people about art. And art is just so different for everybody. Okay, so I am going to go ahead, fill that in a little bit more. Now I do want a little bit of dimension in my background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go in and add just a tiny bit of black into my red, just to darken the red up. So you don't need a whole lot. And just going to take the end of my brush here and then just kind of mix it with the red. It's still going to be more red than dark, just to give it some dimension. And it's kind of comes into kind of a brown color here, as you can see. But I'm just going to do a couple little sections here just to give it a little more dimension. And this just kind of gives your painting a little more than just one solid color in the dark. And I love this. I just think this is so fun. Just like that. I'm going to do a little bit down here. I like to do it right around the snowman here. Kind of gives them a little bit of shadow, which is really cute. These are so great for gifts. People always like them because they can put them up for the holidays. I know that some people actually have a place on their wall for holiday paintings, which I think is fun. So, I mean, if you started to get into this, you could do one for every holiday and actually hang them up in your house or give them to someone who does have kind of a holiday painting area. I don't know if that makes sense, holiday painting area. As my husband would say, I always make myself laugh, I guess. It's gotta be fun, right? Painting is fun. This is fun art, not fine art. So keep that in mind as you're doing this. This is supposed to be fun and relaxing. If you're not enjoying it, you're doing something wrong. There you go. Just gonna kind of blend that a little more. I've got a fan above me, so it's drying it out pretty quick. That's okay. But I just want to get this blended really well. More around the snowman. Just like this. Okay. And I'm just going to do a section over here. I'm not going to do a whole lot because I've got pretty good coverage over there. I just want to make this a little bit different side. Some of my brush strokes there. And the nice thing about this is it's an easy painting. If you work with kids, this would be a great one for kids. If you teach school or something and you want to do a fun activity with them, this would be a great great one to do. It's pretty simple. Okay. And it's a good way to teach them different forms of light and shadow. With a little bit more red. So this is going to be a little bit lighter over here. Okay, just like that. Just want to get all the goobies up. Get paint goobies sometimes. That happens. Pretty good. Okay, so that was pretty fast, right? So we've got the background in. Now next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the hat. I'm going to actually do this in black. So I'm going to use this paintbrush, which is a number 10. This is the number 10 paintbrush. I think the other one was a 12. So this one works pretty good for just kind of getting in the hat and making sure that I still have it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the black that I had from before that I went into the red with and just kind of fill that in. So we're just going to fill that in really good. Now this is color blocking, so don't get too hung up on details because the details come a little bit later. This is a layered paint, so this is just a nice thin layer to make sure everything's getting covered up. So this is the black part here. Just like that. And I'm going to do the brim here in black. Just going to kind of go around the edge right here and then up and around the snowman. Just like that. Pretty good. Okay, there's that one. Now the next one that you're going to do is the little detail brush. I just like to use this to fill in the eyes just because they're a little bit smaller. And then don't put your arm on the painting like I just did. And just fill in your eyes. Just like that. Okay. So that's all done. Clean my brushes real good. Dry them real fast. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do, I want to do like a a candy cane stripe right here because I just think that would be super cute. So I'm going to take the smaller brush that I just had to fill in the eyes and just do some lines just to show where I'm going to do my candy cane stripes right here, just like this. Okay, and down here. Don't want to get too crazy with the lines, just some nice big candy cane lines here. Nothing says candy cane like candy cane stripes, right? And I'm going to do the little band up here in the hat too. Now you can do whatever you want. If you want a solid color, that's totally fine. You can do your own color. But I'm just going to fill in the stripes right here to kind of match the scarf. Just like this. don't have to be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to rinse my brush, and don't worry, we're going to go back over these again. This is just a single layer of paint. Okay, so now I'm going to take my number, let me see if I've got the number on here. This is a number 8 square brush, and I'm going to fill those squares in down here on the scarf. Just like this. Just going to fill those in really good. Okay. So, how can I help you guys? I'm going to be doing some online classes as well. Some of these paintings, and so if that's something you're interested in, we can definitely do that, especially if you want to see how I teach and just see if it's a good fit for you, especially if you live here in the valley. I travel the whole valley. Actually, I do a lot of Arizona. So like I said, I'm from a place called Eager, Arizona. And so I go up there a lot, and I can do a party up there too, as long as we have enough people. That's always the challenge, is just making sure you have enough people. Now, one of the things that I do ask is that you have at least 10 people for me to come for a long distance like that. Now, if it's shorter or whatever, you don't have to have 10 people. But if you get 10 people, then the host actually paints for free. So that's kind of the deal that I'm running for that. And I do door prizes and all kinds of fun things too at the party. So, okay, so I feel like that's pretty good. I'm gonna change that there. It's kind of good to make sure you don't have any paintbrush globs. I have to think of what the name is. Globs, I guess. Okay. So I feel like that's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the buttons. I'm going to do those in, I think, gold. And I have some gold. Let me grab it. So I have this metallic gold. It's from Folk Art, but you can get any kind of gold that you want to go on here. I actually have another kind of gold too, but I just don't have it right here. So I'm just going to spray that on, or pour that on. And sometimes you can do white underneath, and then the gold will show up a little bit more. So it's been a while since I've used it, obviously. Okay, and I actually, on the leaderboards, we did a snowman. And it was really cute because the lady that did the snowman, or ladies that did the snowman, they're going to add buttons to their snowman. So they're going to actually have kind of a 3D button on here, and I always thought that was super cute too. Okay, so here's the gold. We're just going to paint the gold in all over the top here, just like this. And just fill that all in. So I think that turned out pretty good. Okay, and then next what we're going to do is we're going to do the branches on the tree. So I just have a little bit of chocolate or brown, works whatever color you want the trees. So I have like a little bit of light brown here that's going to go on there. And I'm going to use I'm going to use the number 8 brush that I used on the buttons. I'm going to use on the branches as well. And we're just filling these in. And I need to wipe that off. I've still got too much water on there. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to fill these all in and get them ready to go. And if you guys have any questions too, feel free to comment. Let me know what questions you have about this, and I'd be happy to get on and answer them for you. You know, a lot of people think they're not artists, but honestly, everybody is born with creativity in them. You know, whether it's music or art or something, I know that there's something that makes you creative and special. So tell me what you think makes you special. And not short bush special, by the way. You know what I mean. And these are just really fun, cute ways to celebrate that are fun and they're relaxing. And this is just such a great time to get with family members or kids or someone that maybe you want to spend a little bit of time with, and then just paint with them. You know, even teenagers will paint. They'll take the time and they'll paint. You know, I raised 4 teenagers, and they always would do a family project. They liked it when I found, obviously when they weren't hanging out with their friends, but it was something that they enjoyed. Okay, and so it'll be it's a good family activity. So maybe consider doing that in the future with your kids or your family. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a separate plate because I've got a little bit too much paint on that one. I'm going to do white here. Maybe I'll do some white here. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use the number 10 brush for the white. I'm going to make sure it's really clean because I used the black on here, so I'm just going to really dip it in the water and rub it on the paper towel to make sure that I've got all the black off. So I am going to just use the number 10 here to go ahead and start filling in some of the white places here. Actually, before I do that, we need to add a little bit of blue on here too, because I thought I had blue. Blue up. Okay, so I have a little bit of the Cobalt Blue that I'm going to add, and this just gives it a little more dimension again to the snowman. So I'm going to take just a tad bit of blue, not very much, and just kind of get this baby blue here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to circle around the outside of the snowman with the baby blue, just like this, and around the branch. Okay, just like that. Underneath. I'm going to try to start going with the canvas again so that we have the same brush stroke. So now I'm blending more white into the blue, just like this, toward the buttons. Okay, just like this. And then again, I'm going to take that lighter blue over here. I'm going to go right along the scarf and down to the branch, and then back around again, just like I did on that other side. So just like this. Okay, and I'm going to start circling that around. I'm going to add more white, start blending the white into the blue. Just like that. One thing I always tell everybody is there's no such thing as a pure black and a pure white in nature. I know that sounds weird, but there really isn't. I went a little over the buttons, that's okay. I'm going to go back over them and shade them anyway. So we're going to just kind of fill in with the white over here a little bit more. We're going to blend that in around the buttons. I'm going to go back in. Make sure we got enough white in here, and make sure you're happy with the blending here. And I feel like I've done pretty good. So I'm going to do the same thing with the head. Just going to take this blue, go right around the outside, just like this, and right here, and right here. Okay, I'm going to take the white, I'm going to go in here, and as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and do the white over the little line because I can still see the line. Okay, I'm going to get more white because I feel like I didn't get enough white in there. Okay, go right around his eye, around his nose, just like that. Okay. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now I'm going to kind of wipe my brush over here. I'm going to take the white and I'm actually going to start filling in the little candy cane. This one is going to be a little bit more white. It's not going to be as blue as the snowman. But if you get a little bit of blue on there, that's fine. So just like that. These in. Again, don't get stressed if you go over the line. You can just let it dry and then just come back in and detail it later. Okay, so we're just going to do that. And then I'm going to do some little, what are those, fringes, I guess, on the edge there. Okay, and then this is snow, so I'm going to take a little bit of the blue and just kind of go right around on the bottom here. Just so that, because it's kind of the bottom portion of the snow, which is going to look a little more blue. And then blend it up into the white. I'm going to bring this white around just like this. And just like this. So then we got a little snowman in the snow, which I think is great. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush off really good again, and let's see here. Okay, so now we need orange. If you have orange, that's fine. You can go ahead and do the orange, but if you don't, you can mix red and yellow and get orange. I do happen to have a little bit of orange here, so I'm going to use that for the nose. So pretty easy. I'm going to use the number 8 again to fill in the nose here with the orange, and I have it on the other plate, but fill that in. And the nice thing about videos is you can always pause. You can always pause me if you need to catch up. Okay, so we've got that filled in. I think that looks good. Rinse the brush again. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that chocolate brown on the other plate, and using the number 8 brush again, I'm going to go right in here in the middle of the circle, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit of that brown and take a little bit of this white and mix it together to kind of get this light color brown. So see how it's kind of a light color brown here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the sticks. So I'm going to do kind of the outsides of the sticks here. And tops, just like this. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable with this size brush, you can go ahead and go down to like the smaller brush, but for me that seems to work okay. So I'm actually okay with it. Rinse this brush again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is for the top of the hat, I'm going to take a little bit of the white paint here again, and I'm just going to do a little bit of white paint across the top of the hat. And a little bit like this, like there's some folds in here. Okay. And then right along the top of the hat again, and then just right in here. Okay. I don't know that I like those white portions in the hat, so I'm going to go back over that with the black, I think, because I don't think I like that. I think I just want to do the top, and then I'm going to probably do the white on the side of the hat again. Let's see here. So let me fill that in real quick. Okay. Get that black off, and then I'm going to do a little bit of the white here. So then it just kind of shows the shadow. So the light's coming from this direction, and then the shadow is going to be over on this side of the snowman. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. Okay. And then I'm going to go over the red again just because I'd like that a little bit darker with the number 8 brush. There again, if you need a smaller brush, go ahead and go to the smaller brush on the bottom. So now that I don't have kids at home, I don't have like all the Christmas traditions that we used to do on Christmas Day. We used to have the kids jump in the pool and do a polar swim, and that was hilarious, by the way. Everybody jumping in for the polar swim. Of course, you could only do that here in the desert. I mean, I suppose you could do it in the colder parts of the country too, maybe break the ice and jump in, but that just seems a little extreme to me. But everyone is different. So what are some of your Christmas traditions? Do you guys have anything fun that you guys do every Christmas? And if not, what Christmas traditions do you guys do if your kids are gone? My husband and I are kind of at a loss now because our kids are gone. So we decided that we were going to go ahead and travel this holiday because everybody's busy doing other Christmas things with other parts of the family. So we're gonna go to Disneyland this year, and I'm super excited because everybody I talked to said Disneyland at Christmas time is amazing. So that's what we're doing. Okay, so I think that's good. Okay, I'm going to wipe this brush off again, and I'm going to go over the gold one more time where I got a little bit of the white on there. Just kind of go around that, and I just like that it sparkles. I just think that is just the coolest thing. But I also think the buttons on here, like real buttons, would be so dang cute. I just thought that was such a great idea. Okay, so we're gonna just go right here. Okay. And again. Okay. So I think we're done with that one. Okay, now what we're going to do is you're going to take your little detail brush, this brush, and you're going to do a little bit of black, and you're going to do the mouth. Now the mouth is like stones, so you're just going to kind of do this, you know, kind of poke it through there. You're not going to do like a straight line because you want it to look like stone, well, like little stones for his mouth. Just like this. Okay. Just like this. Okay, so now that's perfect. Now what you're going to do is we're going to just go ahead and kind of clean up some of this black area here. I've done a light line outline, but I want to clean up some of that black where I didn't come into the bottom. And then I'm going to kind of circle around here. You're just going to go a little bit around the snowman with the black paintbrush. Now if you're really uncomfortable with a smaller paintbrush, you can use paint pens too, by the way. But I'm just going to kind of outline some of these stripes right here. Okay, just like that. Kind of go do these. Just kind of give it a little more definition. And same here. Just like this. Okay. Like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. Don't be too hard on yourself too. That's one thing I always tell people again, is if you start stressing over it, go to the bathroom, go take a break, go do something. Because a lot of times when you come back, because you're so frustrated at you're like, this is not looking right, I don't like this, I don't want to do, you know, I don't even want to finish, right? So one of the things I tell everybody is go to the bathroom, go get a drink, then come back and look at it, because sometimes you just have to walk away to really see it, and then you go, oh, you know what, that doesn't look as bad as I thought it did. Okay, so now I'm just outlining the lines here with the detail brush. Now I'm going to rinse this really good. Oh, sorry, one more black thing, sorry. So we're going to do right here along the nose, we're just going to do a couple little black lines just like that. Oops, that might have been a little too much black. Okay, I'm going to let that dry because we're going to go back over it, and I think I'm going to do white there. So rinse your detail brush, and then you're going to grab and then dry it. Don't forget to dry them, by the way, I always forget. You're going to do a dot here and a small dot here and the same here, dot, dot. So it gives him a little bit more depth to his eyeballs. Makes him look cuter, I think. Don't you? Okay, so I'm going to take the white here, and this is where I'm going to go right over the top of the carrot. Okay, just like that. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to wait for that to dry. I think I'm going to cover this black line up. I think that's too much, which is fine. Okay, now we get to do the fun part. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest you do is take the back of your number 10 brush, so the back of this, the end, and you're going to take some different colors and you're going to go and do dots. We're going to do some confetti dots all the way through here, and I do like the gold, so I'm going to do more gold because he's so excited. I'm so happy, right? Okay, and then I'm going to take my detail brush and do some little confetti lines. Just gonna wipe that up real good and then just do, and you can do whatever colors you want. If you want to do different colors, you can do different colors, which I've seen and super cute. But I'm gonna go ahead and just do this. Just like that. Okay, so now I've got all my little golden confetti around. Okay, I'm gonna go back over with the orange. I'm gonna go back over that black, which, see, this is why black is tough to cover. So I'm gonna probably have to wait and do that a little bit more. I may do, so one trick too with acrylic is if you have like a light paint, is you can take the white and cover it, let it dry, and then go back over it. Then that way you won't see the black. I don't know if you knew that trick or not. So I'm gonna let that dry for a second. And then I can go back over it with the orange. That just helps kind of cover it up a little more. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. There's your painting. I hope you had fun painting our festive snowman, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming. Please visit my website, mrsbpotsdesigns.com, for more inspiration and for the downloadable tracer and instructions. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.